Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Now from ELD's Time Ball Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. And we have Chris here on Omnitel versus Tony on Blue Red Delver. He's been putting up some great results. What they list that started as a budget deck has kind of grown to really just be his optimal choices of cards. I believe he just has a single volcanic island to get, and he's saving up his store credit towards that. Of course, we have a great selection here at ELD's Time Ball Games. Anything like dual lands, format staples, we've got you covered. I think that's part of the reason why the Wednesday Night Legacy has been doing so great. Obviously, the support from the community is the biggest thing, but we try and make it worth supporting by having the cards that you actually need to play the game. And Tony starting out Blue-Red Delver with a Delver off an island on the first turn. Just a Polluted Delta on the other side from Chris. Delver not flipping. Ponder. I would very much like it to flip next time. Chris taking the opportunity to fetch, also grabbing a basic. We'll see what type of show and tell deck Chris is actually on. Listed as Omnitel. See if it's a mono blue variant or a sneak and show variant. A lot of different ways that Omniscience can close out a game once all your spells are free. That is often game over. Basic Mountain, so we know blue-red. Delver, of course, flipping after that Ponder. Worth noting the interaction there with that Flooded Strand up. Tony could put an instant on top of the library that he doesn't much care for and then shuffle it away after it's been revealed to Delver. That is a very useful line that can happen. City of Traders. Got a fetch during the upkeep. This time grabbing Volcanic Island. You know, we're going to see some cantrips generating some elementals. That seems like the most likely scenario here. Try and close down the window. 5 damage. We're on a 2-turn clock. Wasteland hitting City of Traders. Feels like a pretty big setback. There's a Cunning Wish. And Cunning Wish grabbing what looks like Kozilek's Return. So Cunning Wish does resolve. A few times that you might want to counter the Cunning Wish would be if they're going to be able to grab an instant, something with split second, or something that can't be countered. But from that situation, seemed pretty likely to just be easier to counter the second part of it in days. Make short work of that Kozilek's Return. A couple of additional elementals added thanks to the second Young Pyromancer. And it looks like this is going to be pretty close to a wrap, down to just 1 life. Tough to stabilize from here. Show and tell. Force. And no force back is going to be possible at 1 life. Tony showing still got all these counter spells. Just in case you had it, I had it anyways. Thought you might want to know. So there we go, game 1 toward Tony. Blue-Red Delver, probably a fairly difficult matchup for Omnitel. Have not played that match in a long time. I mean, I probably, with my psychology, feel favored whichever side of the table I'm on. But I think both of them have pretty strong arguments toward being the favorite. You'd really have to jam a lot of games, and I probably would actually come down a lot to pilot performance. Sneak and show a deck that is kind of deceptive in that, you know, a 12-year-old can win with it, but a master is going to be able to find ways of winning where it didn't look like there was any possibility for victory. Blue-red Delver also rewards really solid play, but again, can randomly win off the back of a first turn Delver and some mana denial. So both of them definitely have, you know, free wins kind of baked into the recipe and are a factor in their success, but both of them also can be really rewarded by logging the games, you know, putting in some serious practice, showing up every week, and really mastering the decks. Getting back to 20 life apiece here. Chris hoping that life isn't much of a factor this game. He'd like to just run over Delver before it gets to do anything. Omnitel able to win on literally the first turn off of Show and Tell. Lotus Petal plus any of the Soul lands. City of Brass, City of Traders or Ancient Tomb can give you your 3 mana for your Show and Tell. Omniscience probably the biggest impact player over the last few years for these decks. Just the ability to put in a non-creature off of Show and Tell, and then actually hard cast Emrakul or cast Gristlebrand and then cast all of the cards off of Gristlebrand. Omniscience just super powerful. Delver again for Tony. Knows he's going to want to keep a hand that puts some pressure right up front. A fistful of counters with no pressure, really not going to get the job done. Eventually Sneak and Show will find some type of answer. Or find some type of threat that sticks, I should say. Brainstorm plus fetch land assembled for Chris, cleaning up the hand. Delver flipping blind to ponder. When are you going to be able to make his second land drop and ponder? Or is he going to jam a Pyromancer? Let's see here. Yes, he is going to take the card selection. Sees a Force of Will. Tough to walk away from. Not actually the best counter in this matchup, but always good to have the extra copy. Flusterstorm, very, very punishing versus the card Show and Tell, but doesn't do anything against sneak attack if Chris is on that version. Is yet to be seen. We do know it's blue and red, and there it is. It is actually sneak attack, so I think we've got all of the ingredients kind of mapped out now. An Ancient Tomb, land powering it out. So Spell Pierce. Chris have a counter back. He does, and there's that Force of Will. Backup plan engaged. Oh, and force back again. Oh, all of the forces. Sneak attack denied. Sometimes you just have to have 3 counters. Plus your first turn Delver. The game looks pretty easy from there. 3 more attacks. A Red Blast. Spell Pierce. And then Flusterstorm. So Tony moving all in now on this insect. Wasting or spending 2 counters against that Red Blast. And that's going to do it. 2 more swings. And Chris, no card's going to do it for him there. So Tony taking it down in 2.